Let's start off the video with what you wanted to hear. Are loot boxes gambling? No. If you watch past this portion of this video, then congrats for actually being reasonable, unlike 90% of the internet. If you go online, you will see the biggest controversy as of now, and it's all based on loot boxes, loot crates, supply drops, anything that can be purchased with real money that allows for a randomized reward. Now, if you've been living under a rock or have been playing Super Mario Odyssey for the past week straight, EA was under tremendous fire for adding microtransactions to the point where the game was essentially pay to win by a lot of people's standards. If you wanted to unlock certain heroes faster or have better units with technical advantages, you dish out the money on the pre-order or towards the loot boxes within. Otherwise, if you wanted to unlock specific heroes at the time, you'll be required to play at least 40 plus hours in order to earn the proper in-game currency. In fact, it even earned meme status when people said, "You have to spend $2,100 to get the whole game." Now, with major backlash brought major changes, but none of those gamers were having it. Earning credits for in-game purchases was capped for certain modes, which extended the hatred even further. So with no end in rise to the backlash and sales are quickly diminishing, Disney had to interfere to quell the situation. Some report Disney's interference was due to the threat to remove the rights and exclusivity of Star Wars from EA's hands. So as of now, making this video, microtransactions are gone from Battlefront 2, but this issue has given way to another topic which is still going on today. That issue involves the idea that loot boxes are essentially online casinos. Because those flashy slot machines,
Better take care of that one. If you don't, I'll find you.
People believe that spending money on a loot crate for an RNG-based reward promotes gambling, and it is further enforced by the use of what is called predatory practices. Even though you should be full-grown adults and are responsible for your money and what your kids play. It got a bit more real when governments in Australia and Belgium wanted to prove that loot boxes were in fact gambling. And you know what? Belgium already declared that loot boxes were in fact gambling, and whoops, they didn't. What about Australia? It was just some no-named analyst who thinks that loot boxes constitute gambling by legal definition, which I think is a major operation that I'll explain later on. So let's rewind a little bit. Let's just pull out our Merry and Whiplash dictionaries and just read the definition of gambling. The intransitive verb includes to play a game for money or property, bet on an uncertain outcome, to stake something on a contingency, take a chance. The transitive verb includes to risk by gambling or wagering. So let's see if these loot boxes actually match up to the definition in all points. Can you actually pay real money? Can you spend that money on a loot crate and take a chance for the uncertain outcome? Do you risk your money by losing entirely because of the uncertain outcome? But I opened my common supply drop and it gave me nothing that I wanted. True, little Billy. You desire that rare, epic, super souped-up battle rifle ever since your friend Jimbo earned it by stealing his parents' credit card. But since you didn't get it, you feel like you've lost, right? Let me repeat that part right there. People feel like they've lost, but they've never actually considered that they've technically never lost. That's right, regardless of how you feel about loot boxes and how you may have paid real money by your decision alone, you're never truly losing. As described by the ESRB ratings board, while there is an element of chance in these mechanics, the player is always guaranteed to receive in-game content, even if the player unfortunately receives something they don't want. We think of it as a similar principle to collectible card games. Sometimes you'll open a pack and get a brand new holographic card you've had your eye on for a while, but other times you'll end up with a pack of cards you already have. Now, I personally applied the logic of Airheads Candy's mystery flavor. The flavor itself is uncertain, and you've paid money for it. Now, whether or not you liked it is just an opinion, because you've still gained sources of nutrients and vitamins by eating said product, so your body still benefits. So without the ability to lose when you open a loot crate, there is no risk involved. And when there's no risk, that eliminates the connection to gambling itself. People, I understand you may feel like you've lost by earning that extra pile of in-game currency over duplicate items, or you've gotten that 5th common item you don't really care for. I feel you on that, but it's not enough of a legal argument to establish that loot boxes are gambling. It's actually closer to the definition of a purchase since you're paying money and getting something in return. If you wish to know my personal opinion on loot boxes, I don't like them as much as you do. In fact, the last time I spent money on loot boxes was back in 2015, and the purchase itself wasn't really that steep to begin with. It was actually just a couple of supply drops from Advanced Warfare because I wanted this weapon called the Blunderbuss. I got it, but hey, that's my money I spent on it, and that's my personal responsibility. Do I think microtransactions should be in the game? No. I believe all content should be available as much as you do. This is just a personal opinion. However, I also understand why microtransactions are within the game, and I also understand that people may actually like to spend their money. Again, it's called personal responsibility. Microtransactions are part of the lifeblood of major developers. If a product isn't selling well, the quality of future titles may diminish or stop entirely. It's also a method of combating losses in sales due to piracy. And don't think for a second that major developers like Activision are keeping money stuck in a vault for the purposes of swimming in it like Scrooge McDuck. If anything should be changed, it's that the game developers should lean a lot less or completely remove the pay-to-win aspect as long as it involves direct competition with other human players. I know the trend will probably never cease, and it's because people keep spending millions of dollars on microtransactions per year. We cannot blame the companies for how we spend our money. When someone asks you if you want to snort cocaine and you get caught by the police, you can't blame the druggies for their quote predatory practices. You could have walked away at the offer, but you didn't, and now you have to live up to the consequences. Now, if you want to know about my theory about the government, now I'm not trying to sound like an anti-government liberal or anything. It's a major effort to establish taxation on the video game industry. Now, let's say the government actually did win in the fight to say that loot boxes are in fact gambling by legal definition. You know what's going to happen at the end? Absolutely nothing. Microtransactions are still going to be left unchecked, but now the government can earn a huge profit on the side. If you really think about it, the government isn't your friend in this fight. In fact, they're the same, if not more greedy than the game developers you accuse. It's all about one thing, people. Money, money, money. So there are my 2 cents on this issue. It may not have covered everything, and my argument may not be completely solid, but that's just how I feel about the current situation. What I have to ask is, what are your thoughts on the matter? By remaining civil, please leave a comment below and feel free to join my Discord server within the description. And with that, I offer a thanks for watching this video, and have a good day.